I'm going to do a video on a couple preseason ideas, stuff you should do, and why you should do it, right? Precautions, steps you should take. So the simple thing that I'm going to tell you is it's a game of twos. 2 stakes, 2 traps, 2 hammers, 2 earth anchor drivers. So it's a game of 2. Always have a backup of everything you do or have. You're on the line, mid-season, something breaks, you have 1,000 traps out or whatever, 500 traps out, and you end up something breaking that's crucial. Maybe a truck. Have a second truck. Have backup friend in case you get sick or something. In case you get COVID, you can't go on the line, and you have a 24-hour check, you have to go. Have a friend do it. Always have a backup plan, and always have a backup item of the things you're using. I apply that same principle to trapping, fishing, and everything else. You always gotta have 2. Fishing, you fish something, you lose it, and you catch a fish on it, you gotta have a second one to tie on to catch the fish again because that's what they wanted that day. Right? You always have a backup. Trapping, let's say you're hammering to bed a trap. You hammer and hammering, the hammer breaks. Now what do? Well, if you have a second one, you can just grab a second one and continue to work. So you always have a backup plan to keep the pace rolling. It's always good to have 2 of everything. 2 traps. 2 stakes. These are conibear, those stabilizers. 2 of everything. 2 of everything. Right? And if your truck hasn't had the maintenance done, you haven't got a new set of wheels, you haven't got your oil changed. Let's say your battery's all crusted up. It's been used a couple seasons. You might want to change the battery because you're gonna get out there one day. You gotta start the car in the morning. You're gonna turn it on. You're gonna try to turn it on, and it's not gonna turn on. It's just gonna buzz of a dead battery. And if you don't have an extra battery handy, you're out for the day. You have to go. You're behind. You have to go find batteries. You have to go find out the supplies that you need, right? And therefore, half your day's gone. Especially running a big line, like some people do, you need to have a spare of everything because you can't miss 3 hours where you go to the store and have a battery, your tires rotated, tires changed, new battery, oil changed, or whatever has to happen because you're waiting in line for other people that happen to go that day before you. Always have 2 of everything. A backup truck. Some of you guys use kayaks. If you buy a new kayak, Judith and Dan just did, I suggest saving your old kayak. Always have a backup in case something happens. Right? Accidents happen. Flukes happen. Always have a backup. Let's say you trap and you carry one pack basket, right? Buy a second one, put it in your truck. What happens if you're carrying that pack basket and the bottom breaks out or a couple stakes break through and everything falls out? Well, you got to go get the other basket, right? It's a rule of 2. Rule of 2s. So, you can be like me, learn the hard way, do it a few times, make a few mistakes, and then end up figuring out, well, you know what, I just need 2 of everything. Or better yet, if you have 2, like for fishing bait, small stuff that's cheap, if you have 2 of one thing, you might as well have 4 of them, right? Something happens to the first 2, you got a third and a fourth. So you're covered for that day. It's a rule of 2s, right? Always have 2 of everything. Trapping hammers, earth anchor drivers, extra cables, 2 trapping pliers, everything. It's a rule of 2. I cannot stress that enough. It's a rule of 2s with an S. 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, however many you need, right? But always double what you need. Especially, or have a few spares, right? You never know when something's going to happen. You're out there and you got a 24-hour check. You got 24 hours to check your water traps and you got 500 water traps out. And then you find out that you have to spend 5 hours that day unexpectedly at the hospital, or your friend's sick, or you get COVID and you can't go because you got COVID in the lungs. Or you can't get up and do stuff. You better have a friend, better have a backup friend, be like, hey, I need you to come, I'll ride with you, you check them with me. You do the check-in, check it, right? Personally, I have a trapping license. My brother has a trapping license. 2 trappers with licenses running the same line. Why? My brother has to work long hours. If he can't get there, I go there. If I can't go there, my brother goes there, right? There's always a backup trapper, right? That has we both have our tags on there. So we can check them, right? Always have a backup plan. And it falls into, the rule of twos. 2 of everything. 2 trappers, a backup driver, a backup trapper, a trapper. It doesn't have to be a full-time trapper. It can be an occasional trapper, but just make sure they have the license. 2 trapping hammers, 2 earth angle drivers, 2 fishing nets, 2 extra baits, 2 extra pack baskets, extra tires, extra everything. It's just rule of twos. Twos. 2 of everything. That's the thing I'm going to try to drive home for you, is 2 of everything. I know I've said that like 25 times. But some people, you can say it to them 10, 20 times, they don't hear it. 2 of everything. Until it's driven in your head to have 2 of everything, there's gonna be times where something happens and there's an accident and you cannot finish your trap plan, right? So, or you can't finish fishing because you run out of something. Then you gotta drive all the way up to the store and go get more. Or worse yet, you make your own baits and you don't have more because you gotta go home and make more. 2, if you trap with, I'm going to keep repeating myself because I want to make sure this is driven home. You use one big gallon of Soul Taker, right? Have a second gallon ready, right? What happens when that gallon of Soul Taker potentially cracks or breaks or something happens? That predator bait, that's what Soul Taker is, and something happens where it spills and you can't recover it. You got to have a backup. Rules of 2. It's a rule of 2. Always have 2 of everything. That's what I'm preaching today. Have a good day.